we're back. Thank you so much for listening and joining the All Things Comedy podcast hosted by yours truly, Stephen G. We got some fabulous comics in the house tonight. Joining us, ladies first, we have Sarah Ashraf.
Hey.
Sarah Ashraf in the building.
You said that correctly. I'm proud of you.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're
I
welcome.
went to college, dropped out, but I went.
You was there.
You know, I was there for a little bit. Sarah, how long you been doing stand-up?
It was on and off a year since February. This is like the first year where I've like
great.
put into
Still a
it.
little green. That's great.
Mhm.
Oh, I love that
I'm wearing
time
green
when I
too.
was. Yeah, I love that. Oh my God, you're just naive and you don't care. You're just going out there, just swinging the bat. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
That time is beautiful. My man, what's happening?
What's up?
Man, look, this dude, Johnny Collins. This dude, I saw you, man, the other night at the award show, man. You were impressive, man. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much.
Doing well?
Yes,
Glad
sir.
to have you on the show.
Thank you. Glad to be
Johnny
here.
Collins is with us. Chris Toyloy, he's with us tonight. Chris, how you doing?
I'm good, man. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, no doubt about it. How long you been in the game?
A little over 4 years now.
A little over 4 years.
Yeah. Oh, am I supposed to
Having fun?
Yeah,
Having
I'm
fun
loving
with
it now. Yeah, I'm at
A little over 4 years?
little over 4 years. I'm getting
Johnny, I didn't ask you. Johnny, how long?
Yeah.
Longer than that. Let's just say.
Yeah.
Longer than that.
A little longer than that?
Yeah, I say about 9 years.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
Didn't
You're
even know that.
man, you're almost where you could be a comedy policeman,
Yeah,
you know,
Oh,
a comedy
policeman.
cop.
Sorry,
You
yeah.
really could.
Comedy.
You know, like, nah, that's so-and-so's joke. So you need about 10 years before you can even say that shit.
I tell you what,
You know what I mean?
I'm always offering unsolicited advice, if that means anything.
Oh, man. Hey, they could take it now. You know what I mean? Or leave it. Take it for what it's worth because it's worth taking, right?
I mean, I've been in the game long enough to know what not to do. For
Yeah,
sure.
no doubt. Kenny Jackson,
Hello.
my main man, is with us tonight in the studios, in the SlapStik Studios. What's happening with you, man?
Hi, man. You know me, man.
You good?
First of all, just like to say thank you to the Room Ripper for even having me on. I appreciate you.
Talking to the microphone so the people can
I
hear.
appreciate you for having me, OG.
Oh, man.
OG Room Ripper. If people don't know, I've been
How
doing,
far we go back?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been doing comedy for like 20 years, man. And when I first got my opportunity to host my own show, I didn't even have to beg you.
I was there.
He
I
was
was there.
there.
You said come and support, man. I
Yes.
was there.
And
I was only too happy to come and support.
Yes. And it's still sharp and steel. And you saw something in me, and you know what I'm saying, took me up under your wing.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, and I always honor that. I always respect you for that. I always, I just came to give you your flowers tonight for real.
Hey,
man.
thank you. I appreciate it.
For
That's
real,
high
for real.
praise.
Yes.
And it ain't over. We're not done. We're not done.
I know. It just got started.
Yeah, it just got started. Just got started. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean, Johnny? Just got started.
Can I say one thing? I'm happy to be the only white person in the room. It's usually I'm not. I'm usually.
What is
not the
Sarah?
same. Sarah's, come on, she's Pakistani.
I'm
Yeah.
half Pakistani and half Caucasian.
Yeah.
Mm.
If
So
I said,
I'm like half white. So like
Assalamu
you
alaikum, rahmatullahi wa
Alaikum
barakatuh. She would
assalam.
know exactly. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
I know.
Chris,
Okay.
Chris is like,
It's like
Did he just put a hex on me? What's going on? What is this?
Chris
Like
is
a whole
looking
my
like,
furniture's
what was
floating?
that?
Damn.
Jesus Christ! Now I gotta meet a shaman
Chris
and get
was
this
like,
curse
what
wiped
was
off.
that?
it is okay. We're all okay
I
here.
honestly look like I could be your fucking brother, so it's fine.
Honestly,
Do I
yeah.
do it?
See, the thing about
Not a
ambiguous,
curse.
racially ambiguous people is they're the most racist people because you can.
And get away with it. Yeah, no,
I-
and you can't question
I
it.
don't know.
literally look like anything. I actually look more Puerto Rican than
Yeah.
I do Pakistani.
Yeah, you
and
do.
Yeah.
You
and my
do.
sister, who's actually half Puerto
I know
Rican.
everybody's like,
looks white as shit.
bueno.
Yeah, I know.
I know they are.
See.
Yeah.
You're
yeah.
giving off a little Cher vibes though too.
Okay.
And she
Hey.
was Lebanese though. She was
Okay.
Lebanese.
All right,
All right,
guys,
with the
we
country.
know young comics are listening and they're waiting on us to go in. And so, first question. Since ladies first, Sarah, you take this one.
Okay.
In the grand scheme of things, you'd like to end up on top of what? Where in the grand scheme of things of your comedy? your stand up.
Okay.
I know you just started out.
Yeah.
But in the grand scope,
Okay.
where do you want to end up?
I want to have my own like production company like Adam Sandler and just produce a bunch of movies and stand-ups and just
Wow, yeah.
that's like I just thought about that. Yeah, just have that's my grand scheme.
Nice.
I love that. Like start just to like bring in my friends, you know what I mean? Bring in people that
Sure.
yeah,
Make work for everyone.
Yeah, that's exactly making work for comics. Why not?
Hell yeah.
Work for
Johnny, same
everyone.
question. Grand scheme of things. Where you want to end up?
Simple, man. I just want to make a living off comedy. That's it. Be able to pay my bills. I don't gotta be rich. I just want to pay all my bills and take care of my kids.
Hey, it's a lot of people who do it, and the America or the world doesn't know who these people are, and they make a good living.
That's what I want.
Yeah. All right, Kenny, same question. Grand scheme
it's
of
gonna
things.
sound crazy. This shit I'm about to say to you.
What the grand scheme of things? Where do you want to end up?
I believe that.
Where you want comedy to take
That's
you?
it. Hear me. I believe that the world been comatose for a while, and the only thing that can bring it back to life is the vibration that come with the love of comedy.
We're the only ones can bring them back.
Yeah,
we're the heartbeat.
We the heart, yeah. Because think about this.
that.
When have you've been through some crazy shit before?
Sure.
Where it was like, oh my God, this is the worst shit ever. If you could laugh, you knew you was alive.
Oh yeah.
And you knew you was gonna be all right.
We're the best doctors in the world. I tell all young comics.
Come on now.
We are
need my
the best
PhD
doctors in the world.
Come on now.
Chris, same question.
I want to be a background to this. I had a friend who went to go watch a comic, and he said that his features were like the funniest. He's like, I don't know how this headliner is going to be able to top this. And then the headliner came out and murdered everybody.
That's
I want to be
job.
that guy where it's like, damn, I didn't know he could bring it to that next level.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I just want to be that guy.
When you
who's
thought
like undeniably
everyone
funny.
did great.
Yep.
And then he came and took it to
And
another
he took
level.
it to a whole nother level where they're like, oh, it was worth paying for the show.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
that's a professional comic.
I want to follow his trajectory. That's what I want to be. I want to be the guy who is undeniably the funniest on stage.
That's awesome.
Oh wow.
I love all our goals.
I love that.
Yeah.
Kenny, you
Yes,
take
sir.
this since you've had rooms and you've hosted rooms and you've booked comics. What's the first thing a young comic needs to conquer, in your opinion?
The ones that get my attention are the brave ones.
So
I respect bravery, and then the ones who write get my attention. So I look for brave, and I look for somebody who's, if you're not writing, to
okay,
me,
no fear.
you're not,
And
if you're not writing, you're not taking it serious.
and got a pen to the pad. Got to put the
Yeah.
pen to the pad.
I just see a lot of young comics out here now, and they just like think that they worried about the merch and shit. They worried about the merch.
Yeah, they want to be a brand right away.
Right. They like
Right
just
away.
you was open mic last week, and now you charging people $20 to get in shows.
Yeah, you're
please,
tripping.
As the kids say, make it make sense.
Yeah.
Make it make
the
sense.
comedy gods will kick you out of this profession.
Listen, I'm telling you,
They will,
it's
and
funny
they
that
exist.
you said. It's funny that you said that, right?
They exist.
Because there's levels,
Sure.
right? And if you're not supposed to be there, you will not be there.
You will not be there.
That's
Yeah.
I believe that.
I'll tell you.
I believe that.
I believe that too.
Johnny,
Yes, sir.
same question.
Same question.
What's the first thing a young comic needs to conquer? Because I knew you didn't know what the same question was. That's why I read it again. But
first thing I need to conquer is my attention span. And then, I say,
Go deep.
new comics,
good shit.
New comics. The one thing I learned when I first came before I even started comedy, I didn't even know you could do comedy in Ohio at first. I thought it was like in New York and LA. I said, when I figured out you could do it in Ohio, one thing I learned from listening to older comics is like it's gonna take a lot of time before you get to the point where you can do well every time you're on stage.
Sure.
And it's like a lot of comics, they try to rush. And I knew coming into this that the one thing I wanted to be before I was promoted, before I was a brand, was the funniest person I
What's
could
funny?
possibly be.
What's funny?
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
like, I knew my whole goal coming into it before I decided I wanted to, produce shows or anything like
or
that.
skipping the line, or
skipping the line. And listen, some people can get in and they can start running. You know, I know a few people that just started
Sure.
funny and kept being funny.
Sure.
But for me, I was just I'm hard headed. I hit every unfunny branch on the way down from that tree.
Yeah.
And
Man.
so I just wanted to make sure I was the funniest person I could be before I, elevated myself to a point where I could, I wanted people to see me even. I learned my lesson bringing dates to open mics, how that was a bad idea. You got to get funny before you can get
No doubt about it. Even a free drink.
Oh, man.
Chris, take the same
so
question.
was this a poetry
to
reading or was
conquer.
it comedy?
Because there wasn't any laughs.
Oh, my God. Say what he laughs. Chris, take that same
Where's the
question.
music?
It was so quiet, I could hear you breathe.
Yeah, man.
For
Go
new
ahead, sorry,
comics,
Chris.
I'm sorry. No, you guys can
New
keep interrupting.
comics,
It's
yeah.
fine.
What's the
sorry,
first
I'm
thing they need
sorry.
to conquer?
Take your time on stage. I know a lot of new comics like to rush through their set because they're nervous and they stumble on their jokes and it comes off as bad.
And go 1,000 miles a minute.
Yeah, because it's like I tried to hear what he was saying, but it didn't make sense because he was speeding on to try to get to the next joke. Get used to bombing. Bombing it's comfortable.
Natural.
Yeah, I've once you bomb so many times, you're numb. There's no room that's gonna hurt you. So you could go up and still have confidence. It's not gonna be as bad as that one show I did 3 years ago.
Build confidence. That's a good.
Build confidence. And
I'm arrogant as fuck. I ain't never bombed in my life.
Shit. I've been booed all day.
I've done bad. I've never bombed.
I've never been booed yet.
I've been literally.
To me, I did
booed
bad.
on stage, yeah.
In my mind, I can
To
say
me, I did
right,
bad.
but I've never bombed before.
Can I actually say a story about that? Because
about
it was
bombing?
one of my worst sets was with you at Red Rock.
Really?
Ooh.
Yes.
Wow.
No, he killed. He ripped the room ripper.
The room ripper.
I got bumped so many times and I was waiting to go up at Red Rock. And then you went up and I'm sitting there watching you. And they, you could do as much time as you want. So like, he's like 20 minutes in killing. And I'm like, man, this motherfucker's funny. Don't light him. Let him keep going. And then they're like, I was sitting there. I'm like, who's next? Who has to follow this? And I'm like, you. I was like, oh shit.
I was at 20. I did.
Man,
Was it your birthday?
I may have had a
was it
show
your
coming up or
birthday?
something. So
Man.
it might have been.
he
No, it
killed.
might have been.
Your birthday?
Yeah, it might have been.
He
'Cause
killed.
that's the night you just went supernova.
Yeah,
You-
it might have been.
I was the guy who had to follow the supernova. That was not.
Yeah, he was super
There was
saiyan.
no.
It
As
was
soon as I got on
crazy.
stage, bathroom breaks. Everybody went to the bar. And give me a chance, man. And I just felt like shit the whole night.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man.
No. Because I
Goddamn,
talked to you
Chris.
outside. No, because it was good though. Because it was like, like I said, I want to be able to follow. I want to
Hey,
be undeniably
Can
funny.
I tell a
Yeah.
story real quick?
Hey, Tommy Davidson did all of his shit in
Yuck
front of
Yucks.
me.
You told me about the yuck.
And
yuck,
Yuck
yeah, I remember the
Yucks
story.
in Toronto,
It humbled
Canada.
me.
Did all of his shit in front of me. And I was like, man, why would you do something like that?
You told me the same
You
story.
know what I
and I
mean?
was like, all right.
He was
yeah.
like, I'm just going to do a few minutes. Because I was going to go before him.
You was about to go on stage.
I was headlining.
And Tommy
Yeah, you were the
Davis-
head-
I was
Headliner, you told me,
headlining
yeah.
at Yuck Yucks, and Tommy was doing a movie down the somewhere in
and just
Toronto.
popped into the
And
club.
he just came to the club and said,
Oh.
can I do a couple minutes? They was like, talk to the headliner, Stephen G. I was like, fine, my man. Look, let me go first, though. You know what I mean?
And
You
he-
Tommy Davidson, let me go first.
You can headline. Go ahead, my dude.
Let me go first.
Go ahead, man.
You could do. He said no. And did 40 minutes. And he said, no, this is your show. You the headliner.
And did 40 minutes?
He did 40 minutes.
He sucked the air out of the room.
He did all of his
He
stuff.
sucked the air out of the room.
He did his Anita Bakers and every.
You're my Tommy Davis, basically. Yeah, you're my Tommy Davis story. It was
No. Okay, so can I tell
I
a quick
couldn't believe
story?
it.
Can I tell a quick story? So when you finally came over and did the laugh blast, right?
Yeah.
I had my sword sharpened. Because part of the reason that I hosted my own show for 5 years is so I could get everybody over there. And
Well, Kenny Laugh
Killer.
Blast was something that was a neighborhood phenom. You know what I mean? It was just,
it was
it was outside. The stage was outside.
yeah.
You hear me, Johnny? Outside. At night, helicopters flying around and shit. It's in the hood now.
No, but 2
Sarah.
blocks down from where the attic sits now.
Yeah. Yeah. No doubt
Yeah,
about
because
it.
it's $1 million neighborhood now.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
didn't talk about that. But anyway.
Gentrification.
Gentrification
is a bitch.
is a
Uh,
bitch.
I
That's
got
it.
the white gays in there and everything jumped up in price.
Everything. You know, the flags are flying.
So you
know.
came through, and they said Steven coming through, And I was like, I'm gonna kill him. And you knew it too. And you came and just, I was
demolished
like,
the whole.
sit your ass down, little boy.
Yeah.
You think you funny.
That was
You think you funny.
a treat.
But you
Because
told me you
it
was
was
like,
some
you was
old
out there.
friends of mine out there that in the audience that never saw me perform before.
Wow. I never knew that story.
And I wanted to tear their asses apart.
And you came back, you was like, man, you out there killing them, man. Yeah, you was like,
You were. You set me on fire.
you said, you know what? You made me turn up tonight.
I started with like
yeah.
4 closers.
Damn.
Yeah, because
I started with 4 closers.
I knew I was
and
like,
then went into my act and then ended like retarded.
Yes,
So it was
steel
Oh my
sharpening.
God.
It was steel sharpening steel, and from there was level of respect that was given.
Man,
It's crazy.
Man.
Thank you,
Johnny. Take this. Do you try to be funny all the time, or do you just turn it on stage?
Well, first of all, I got to try to be funny sometimes.
Yeah.
That's the big goal for me. But no, I don't know. I'm just kind of.
You hate those comics that just don't know when to turn it off? You hate those guys?
The only time I hate that, because for one, the only time I hate it is when you're brand new, because it's forced. You know, I was at Open Mic Tuesday, and some dude was like, "You ever notice how?" I'm like, "All right,
it's not time for bits. Please stop."
Not time for that, bro. You gotta. There are some comics who have a character on stage, and they're different off stage and on stage.
Yeah,
I tend to lean more towards the I'm just me all the time, and I just bring that
and got a humorous outlook on life.
I mean, I put some dance moves on it when I'm on stage.
Right.
You know, I definitely don't just go up there and just have conversations, but
right, no doubt.
But yeah, no, I'm like, you know, I just prefer honesty over anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you know, I find humor in the honesty.
Sarah, same question.
Can you repeat the question?
Can you like you're on
yeah, no.
Goodness. You're on trial, Sarah.
Listen, I would do well if I was on
you
trial.
Would.
You're dressed like you're ready for court.
Thank you. I like Johnny, I like honesty, so I like to be myself because I'm a working actor as well. So it's different for me, like on stage. Like
you're a different person?
No, I try to be myself. But like when I was first doing it, I was putting on a performance and it was not working.
Right.
I was not working because
and
I cannot.
You had to be you.
Yeah, I could not perform.
This is what I want the young comics to get out of this. Out of that question.
You cannot perform being you. You either be you or you be somebody else. There is no in between, and I found that out the hard way.
Yeah, finding you is hard. You remember finding yourself and like this is my niche. This is how I go. This is.
Yeah, and I'm still finding that. I'm still like searching.
Sure.
I'm still doing that.
Sure,
so.
I'm sure. Kenny,
jump in. I remember writing jokes to make people laugh, and when I finally realized that wasn't it, that was when I realized I was a comedian.
Yeah,
because I was like, dog, I'm funny. Cut it out.
Cut it out. You're trying too hard.
I'm trying too hard.
It's innate. Yeah. It's inside of you. I told somebody one time, they was like, "Do you wake up on this shit?" I said, "I'm fall out of bed funny. I wake up with this. I wake up with this shit. I wake up with this shit, bro. I have to be at work sometimes at like 9:30 in the morning, right? An ungodly hour for a man 54 years old to be going to work. Yeah. But listen, I have to turn it on. I work in sales. I got to deal with the people. You know what I'm saying? No doubt.
So to answer your question, am I funny all the time? Yes and no. Because sometimes you have to fill up with a lot of the bullshit in order to be able to excel some funny shit from it.
Yeah. My wife tells me I'm seriously funny. Like
seriously funny?
Yeah, like serious, like it would be some serious shit.
And you making fun of this shit.
She's cracking up.
Oh.
But I'm dead serious about some shit.
Right.
About what happened or whatever. Get your goofy ass. Did you see that?
Oh my
I'm
God.
like, I'm going in and she's cracking up, but I'm dead serious. I'm about to whoop somebody's ass.
Right.
But she's like, you're so dumb, I'm like, I don't find shit funny right now.
Right.
And she's like, you was cracking me up,
That's funny.
But, Chris,
Who I am on stage is who I am off stage, just with less structured punchlines and tags. I don't.
Right.
Just
when I
less
started, structured.
Yeah, when I try to like what Kenny was talking about, if I'm sitting on my own writing, if I'm by myself and I see something that's funny, I'll be like, oh, if someone's in this room, this is what I would say. Write it down. That's who I would be on stage. So it doesn't like. What I'm basically trying to say is like, I when I started comedy, I kept trying to mimic the people I watched, and it wasn't working for me. I wasn't having fun because I'm like, I can't do that. It's not me. Right. I was like, and once you get comfortable being you, who you are on stage, off stage, like who you are off stage, on stage, it's just like it feels more comfortable and natural. It's not like I'm working. I'm not working to be someone. I'm not punching in like time to go be this guy who I'm not. Yeah. Who I want to be.
You want a smooth transition.
Yeah, like if you talk to me off stage, it's the same you would have heard me on stage in conversation. It feels natural.
Very true.
No doubt about it.
What I say on stage, I'll tell you in a conversation. It's nothing's changed.
The only people I'm cool with, really, I'm cool with a lot of people. The only people I'm really like, I really get along with are the people who are like that, though.
Yeah.
Like your, Yales, your Ian Millers, you know what I mean?
Yep.
The people who are just like, it's just like, I don't have to like switch it on or off with them.
No.
Yeah.
It's
just natural.
Because I've met comics where they're on stage like, I'm happy, go lucky, and you get them off stage like, I don't want to, don't bother me. I'm like, what? What's wrong with you?
It makes no sense.
Yeah,
it's a syndrome that new comics like when they come into a lot because for one, when you go into any social setting, you're already a little trepidatious, but then when you are in this room full of comedians and a lot of them who know each other and have a rapport already, it's like they come in too hot.
As we should.
Yep.
We should have a rapport.
But the new comics, they come in way too hot. They think I got to be funny in order to be cool with these people. Just be yourself.
Be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Don't be somebody else, and you don't have to.
You guys ever notice the deal? Like, okay, man, don't run bits by
me. Don't run bits by me.
I hate that the most. I'm like, are we doing a bit? What are we doing?
No,
that's what I'm saying. Don't know when to turn it off.
Yeah.
One of my least favorite things is somebody, even older comic comes up, hey man, can I run this bit by you? No,
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Run it by the audience.
Yeah.
If you like, if it's different, if like, hey, I need help with this joke, can you help me with this joke?
Yeah.
I'm there, but it's like, hey man, let me tell me if you think this is funny. No, let the audience tell you if it's funny. I'm just gonna sit there and not do anything.
For any.
All right, guys, let's move on. All right, we all try to be professionals, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is something professional you learned from stand up, Chris?
The most professional thing, the great, very good friend of mine, Chris Allen, gave me the best advice, and I was learning how to host. Was be on top of everything. For any new comic, first step is hosting. By the way, if you're listening, hosting is the most important thing. I think
that's
hosting,
what you want to do first.
Hosting. Once you master hosting, it gets so much easier.
Hey, you get to go up 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 times that night.
Yep.
Everyone else just once.
Yeah, and you're the first person they see. It's a cold open. Once you master hosting, it's the strongest muscle I think you'll get.
Oh yeah,
I agree.
It's the big. It's lifting weights. It's the best weightlifting for a comic you can get.
Yep, and I took a lot of
workout.
Yeah, your job is to get the plane off the runway, then everybody else maintains in the air. Headliner lands it, and he gets the claps. That's how I look at hosting. But
no doubt. But someone bombs, you as the host, you got to rejuvenate the crowd.
You got to pick up the tempo. You got to control. You're like a maestro out there.
Yep, you're the ringmaster. You got to keep the laughs going. You got to bring it up to make sure, no one wants to be featuring and watch the host suck because it's like, well, it ruins the whole room for the green room, but the mood. But hosting, be professional. If you're hosting for 2 nights, memorize everything the first night and don't ask again the second night. If you have your headliner coming in, have whatever he ordered, his drinks ready for him the moment he steps in the room. And just try to make it easy on every single comic. That's the only thing I could think of. When you start hosting, that's
Sarah, something you learned from stand up professionalism wise.
Gosh, to make sure you have all your ducks in a row before you get up there.
Okay.
Because I'm
ready.
Yeah, because I'm an improv person, and you cannot improv stand up.
No,
you cannot. No. Found that out the hard way.
No.
Yeah. So it's about having
not a total show.
No, it's not. No. But yeah, that's I feel. You feel like you need to have all your stuff in a row before you can get up there to do it. You know what I mean? If you have a tag that you forget, like say you say it right before you get on stage,
Right.
and you get up there and you're like, oh crap, I had this tag. It was funny. Like it's just like, then you look like an idiot.
Now it's gone. Yeah. And you can't bring it back.
Nope.
Kenny, same question.
Same question. What?
Professionalism. Something you learned from stand-up that.
I got you. 'Cause I use it every day in my job. It's they can tell if you fake.
Mm-hmm.
Find the genuine you, and you'll go far. If you know what I mean, like the crowd know when you're struggling.
Mm-hmm.
The crowd know when you on point, and you because I feed off of them.
Once you win that judgment of them, sky's the limit.
I hosted you talking about hosting sharpens your skills.
Oh yeah.
I hosted my own show for 5 years for free because I felt I was paying my dues. And like you said, you get to go up 4 or 5 times. You control the tempo of the show.
No doubt.
I got better each
year. You get a lot of practice.
You get a lot of reps in hosting.
Yes. A lot of reps.
A lot of reps.
5 years. 5 years. Yeah. So that's the one thing I like. Oh, and punctuality. Don't man. Come on.
Be on time.
Be on time, man. People got things to do, man. This stuff costs electricity.
We're gonna talk about that later. Johnny, professionalism. Something you learn through stand-up about being a professional.
Punctuality is a huge thing. I'm gonna co-sign that one. Comedy's kind of like a wild, wild west. It's like, we're a bunch of degenerates for the most part. You know what I'm saying? We're at a bar.
Sure we are. Are you kidding?
But you still gotta approach being a degenerate with a professional mindset. Like you gotta be on time. You gotta have your shit together. You can't, like, one of my biggest pet peeves, and I know some people might disagree with me, but if I'm getting paid to do a show, I ain't bringing no notes on stage. There's no notes.
Oh man, that's totally unprofessional.
I'm sorry. If it's an open mic, or if if it's like a whatever, that's fine because we're working on shit. That's what an open mic is for. But
Leah McBride from Cincinnati, she tried to go up with notes. First, I snatched them out of her hand. Like, no.
No, you're getting paid. You should have that shit memorized. If you don't have it memorized, you should have enough jokes in your repertoire in your head to be able to fill in the gaps where if you forgot something or something. But I personally, I think if I'm getting paid,
it's a part of this genre to remember, to commit what you've written to memory.
And
you know what I mean?
And honestly, that doesn't take a lot. It doesn't take a lot to memorize stuff. It really doesn't.
For some people, it's.
Well, then
hey, I've known a lot of people who were funny, and they had a funny 15 minutes. And they barely could remember that. And then, because they would have to go to a little pad or whatever, and they stopped doing stand-up after a few years.
Yeah.
Because they had to get past that little first 15 minutes. That's the hardest. It's like a singer with your sophomore album. A musician with the sophomore album. That first 30 minutes that you write is going to be probably the funniest 30 minutes. It's going to be hard to match it. My first 30 minutes was hysterical, and it was hard to match it for a while. It really was. Once I got a good 30 together, not just straight out, no. Some things had to go, and new things came, and strong 30 now, oh my God. Oh my God, it was so hard to match.
But you have to put in the work and the effort. And one last thing, this is controversial or whatever, but don't be going on stage fucked up either. Like,
I
did a lot of that. I made that mistake a lot in my first few years, just going on stage either a little too drunk or a little too high. There's you don't have to go up there completely sober, but you can't go up there fucked up because your time is going to be off.
A lot of when you get further along in your career, a lot of the writer of the contract will say show up sober.
Oh,
It will say that. It'll have it in there.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, man.
Show up sober.
I had paid one time. I threw a show. I produced a show, and I paid a videographer to come. I paid a lot of money for him to come and record the sets. And I remember looking back on it after I paid all that money, and I was watching my set, and I'm like, my eyes were just barely open. I was looking like Toyloy. And I was like, I was just so high, so fucking high in that recording that all of it was useless. I couldn't send it to nobody.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the joke, some of the jokes were hitting, that's fine, but some of the jokes were there, but it's like, but my timing was off, and I was just slow, and I was doing too many ad libs, adding too much. It was just it wasn't good. So it's like I learned from that point.
That was last week, wasn't it?
It was about
2
days ago. Yeah.
Wow.